The first thing I remember after the surgery was silence. Not peaceful silence, not the kind people write poetry about. This silence felt abandoned, like a room everyone had already left, forgetting someone was still inside. Machines hummed beside me. A slow, mechanical rhythm replaced the heartbeat that had almost failed me. My chest burned with every breath, stitched together by strangers who had worked for 12 straight hours to keep me alive. I opened my eyes, expecting familiar faces. My mother's nervous smile, my father pretending not to cry, my younger sister Lily's scrolling her phone but staying anyway. No one was there, just a nurse adjusting a drip. "You're awake," she said gently. "You gave us a scare, Emma." Emma Carter, 32, emergency heart surgery after a sudden collapse at work. Congenital defect nobody knew about until it nearly killed me. I swallowed painfully. My family? The nurse hesitated, the kind of hesitation professionals learn when truth hurts more than illness. They were contacted. That was all she said. Hours passed, then another day. No flowers, no messages, no footsteps rushing down the hallway. Pain medication blurred time, but loneliness sharpened it again. On the second night, curiosity defeated pride. I asked for my phone. Hundreds of work notifications, a few coworkers asking if I was okay. And then I saw it. Lily's Instagram story. A bright brunch table, sunlight, mimosas raised in celebration, my parents smiling beside her. Caption, "Living our best life." My hands trembled so hard the IV alarm beeped. I checked the timestamp, posted 2 hours after doctors had called them about my emergency surgery. I stared at their faces, relaxed, happy, untouched by fear. I imagined the call. "Your daughter might not survive." And somehow, somewhere, they had decided not to come. Tears didn't come immediately. Shock protected me at first. The realization arrived slowly, like cold water rising around my ankles. Later that night, I overheard 2 nurses whispering outside my room. The sister answered the call. She told admissions, "She's not our problem anymore." My chest hurt worse than the surgical incision. Not our problem anymore. The words echoed louder than any monitor. I understood then. This wasn't sudden cruelty. It was history finally spoken aloud. I had always been the inconvenient child, the responsible one, the independent one, the one who didn't need help. After college, I paid my own bills, supported myself, even helped my parents financially when Dad's business struggled. Lily was different, charming, fragile, always needing rescue, and somewhere along the way, I became expendable. Days turned into weeks of recovery. Every morning I told myself not to check my phone. Every night I failed. No calls, no messages, just silence. Until one afternoon when a man stood at the doorway holding a worn brown envelope. "Emma?" I blinked. "Uncle Robert?" He looked older than I remembered. Gray hair, tired eyes, guilt written across his face. "I just got back from Colorado," he said. "I didn't know what happened until yesterday." He sat beside me quietly. Unlike everyone else, he didn't rush to speak. Finally, he sighed. "Your father made some decisions." Something inside me tightened. Robert handed me the envelope. "Your grandmother left this for you before she passed last year. She asked me to give it to you only if things ever got bad between you and the family." My fingers shook as I opened it. Inside were legal documents, property deeds, financial statements, and a handwritten letter. "Emma, You were always the one who carried everyone else. One day, they may forget your worth. When that happens, remember, I didn't. My grandmother had left me majority ownership of Carter Holdings, the family company my father had been running for 20 years. I stared at Robert, stunned. Dad knows? Robert nodded slowly. He assumed everything transferred to him. He never read the final amendment. The room spun. The same father who hadn't come to the hospital depended entirely on a company that legally belonged to me. For the first time since surgery, something else filled my chest. Not anger, not yet. Clarity. I folded the letter carefully. They walked away, I whispered. Robert met my eyes. What you do now, that's up to you. That night, I didn't cry. I lay awake listening to my rebuilt heart beat steadily, stronger than before. And for the first time, I stopped waiting for them to come.
Recovery taught patience. Every step hurt. Every breath reminded me I was alive when I shouldn't have been. Pain became discipline. While my body healed, I studied the documents. Carter Holdings wasn't just a business. It was drowning. Debt hidden beneath polished reports. Loans taken quietly. Assets leveraged recklessly. My father hadn't betrayed me out of strength. He had done it out of desperation. And he didn't even realize the company was already slipping from his hands. 3 months later, I walked into the corporate office for the first time since surgery. No one recognized me at first. I had lost weight, my scar hid beneath a tailored jacket. My voice carried calm instead of apology. The boardroom fell silent when the lawyers began speaking. Ownership transfer, authority restructuring, immediate audit. My father's face drained of color. "Emma, what is this?" he asked. I met his eyes, the same eyes that hadn't come to the hospital. "It's reality." Lily laughed nervously. "This is some kind of joke, right?" I slid the signed documents across the table. "No joke." The audit uncovered everything within weeks. Mismanagement, concealed losses, personal withdrawals disguised as business expenses. I didn't fire my father immediately. That would have been emotional. Instead, I reassigned him to an advisory role. No authority, no control. He sat across from me during meetings, watching decisions made without him, watching the company stabilize, watching employees thank me for saving their jobs. The revenge wasn't loud. It was quiet correction. But silence hurt deeper than shouting. One evening, he came to my office after everyone left. "Why are you doing this?" he asked, voice shaking. "You're destroying your own family." I looked at him carefully. "No," I said softly. "You did that when you didn't come." He flinched like I'd struck him. Weeks later, Lily showed up unannounced, crying. "We didn't think you'd survive," she admitted aimily. "It was easier to distance ourselves." Easier. The words settled heavily between us. For months, I wrestled with myself. Every success felt hollow. Every victory tasted like ash. I had won, but something human inside me kept asking whether punishment healed anything. Then the final report arrived. If I exposed everything publicly, my father could face legal consequences. Prison was possible. I sat alone that night, grandmother's letter in my hands. "Remember who you are," she had written. Revenge or mercy? Power or peace? The next morning, I called a private meeting. My father arrived pale, expecting the end. I placed a folder in front of him. Resignation papers. Debt settlement agreements already arranged. "I'm not pressing charges," I said quietly. He stared at me, confused. Why? Because revenge had already happened. He had watched the daughter he abandoned become the person he now depended on, because prison wouldn't teach him what loss already had. "I'm ending the cycle," I said quietly. Tears filled his eyes, real ones this time. Not forgiveness, not reconciliation, just understanding. He signed. Months later, the company thrived under new leadership. I rarely visited family gatherings. Distance became peace instead of punishment. One evening, Uncle Robert visited my new apartment overlooking the river. "You could have ruined them completely," he said. "I know." "Why didn't you?" I watched the sunset reflect off the water. "Because the day they walked away," I said slowly, "I almost died twice. Once on that operating table, and once believing I needed their love to matter." My heart beat steadily beneath the scar. Strong, independent, alive. Ending. I didn't win by taking everything from them. I won the moment I realized they had never truly owned me at all.